Hey everyone, it's me, John, here with another episode of Johnny Vlogs for Monday, May 1st, 2017. And just to give you a quick update in terms of the YouTube adpocalypse stuff that's going on, I think you probably remember that I mentioned that I contacted them. They told me that things were going to be being adjusted for a few weeks. That few weeks is now easily over a month, and I don't know if any of that is going to change anytime soon. I'm starting to hear about some bigger YouTubers that are moving over and starting to do a lot more stuff on Twitch. I don't know if I'm going to have to get to that point or not, but for right now, I have to give a huge thank you to my patrons patrons, sorry, and all the new people that have signed up for Patreon. There was so many of you over this past week. I can't believe it. It's very clear to me that you guys are hearing the message and you're really helping out with this. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. New Patreon, Tabby A. McCleary, or new patron. I wish I could get that straight. It's so hard. And I hear other people on YouTube do it all the time too. That Irish girl, AC, who manages the Facebook page, upped her pledge. Thank you so much, AC. I really appreciate that. Misty Latta, DM, Diane Marshall, Sarah Bell, who then upped her pledge after she signed up with the initial pledge. Thank you, Sarah. Liz Myrina, Fritz, Michelle Frollo, A. Armstrong, Gregory Light, and Geerte Oudston. I hope I'm saying that right, or Oudston. Thank all of you so much. It's amazing. I can't believe the support that I'm seeing come in on Patreon, and it just means the world to me that there's so many of you out there that want to keep me here on your screens doing this 5 days a week. I truly appreciate it. So, I had a phone call with the father of a missing person. If you remember the Rose Marie Timperley case that I featured, I think it was about 2 weeks ago now. And I know some of you had actually sent information to the father about that video being posted. Thank you, because apparently it worked. He reached out to me in email. We connected on the phone and we spoke probably for close to an hour. And, you know, those phone calls in some aspects can be kind of tough. I mean, you know that this is a person that's hurting, and I do my best to try to be supportive and, you know, share my thoughts with them in a way that I think is appropriate, and they so far has gone very well, and they seem to appreciate. But what really hits me about, his name is John also, about John, is he keeps coming up with these ideas that are really, really strong. And it's a shame because in one way he's so focused on trying to find Rose Marie that I don't know if he could really be the quarterback for trying to take those ideas and push them forward and really turn them into something a lot bigger. So he made a lot of really good points. I took a lot of notes, and over the next few weeks, I'm going to start taking these ideas one by one and sharing them with you. I'm also going to send these videos to a couple of my new friends over at Namus and another new friend that I have at NickMick, and see if there's something we can do to maybe push some of these ideas forward. So John had actually touched on one idea that I also saw some brain scratchers talk about. Let me bring up a snapshot here of the comment thread, and you can see here we have a brain scratcher named Yoga Dork. Hey Yoga Dork, thank you so much for this awesome comment. They need to come up with a color of alert for developmental issues and mental issues missing cases. Purple alert or something, anything. They should take mental health more seriously overall, honestly. And I can tell you in particular, after speaking to John about his case, I do believe that there needs to be some firmer laws put into place that really help guide the hand of law enforcement or guide their actions a bit stronger. I don't want to really get into the details too much, but it just, particularly in Rose Marie's case, it feels like law enforcement could be doing more. I'm not saying they're not doing anything. I'm just saying it feels like they could be doing more to help process that case. But that thought of a special alert seems to me like a natural evolution of the Amber Alert system. You know, originally Amber Alert was specifically for children. They have now since created kind of a new type of alert called a Silver Alert, which is for elderly people if they go missing. I don't know why we wouldn't consider like a purple alert or whatever color, but a special type of alert for people with developmental issues. It seems like such a good idea that I want to see if there's some way to get some traction on it and try to push that idea forward a little bit. Maybe get it in the hands of people that can run with it, people that already have connections for trying to push laws like that forward. That's why I'm going to send it over to NCMEC. It would be great if someone like, you know, like John Walsh or someone like that just kind of caught wind about this and started pushing that forward. Someone that has a lot of already some political clout in those areas when it comes to pushing laws like this forward. But even outside of that, if you guys have other suggestions on what could be done to help push those forward, I don't know, maybe you're an attorney and you know that there's some mechanism that could be triggered to help get something like that looked at. I don't know if we're supposed to brute force this by writing letters to senators, or I'm really asking for your guys' help, because I'm hearing these great ideas, particularly from someone that is suffering with a missing loved one, and I don't want those ideas to just kind of fall to the wayside. I want them to be kicked around a little more. I know there's going to be challenges around this. In particular, with Rosemarie's case, the big challenge is that law enforcement has, it's weird, I don't want to call it an excuse. In one way, it's actually a responsibility. She is an adult and she has privacy you know, laws that apply to her. So there's a certain way which law enforcement could have its hands tied, and it'd be nice if there was some mechanism to loosen those ties, particularly for issues where we know that these are adults that are struggling with developmental disabilities. I think that is a very important cause. And once again, I know I mentioned it when I talked about the case on Searchlight, but John, at the end of our phone call, once again drilled in with me. He's like, I don't know why people that have children that are becoming the age, if they're going past 18, why they weren't triggered by like their social worker or someone like that to, hey, you might want to have a talk with this young adult, see if there's something that you can work out where you might be able to sign over some rights or get some level of legal rights to their information, particularly in cases like this, for when they go missing. And maybe there is a special type of contract that can be drafted up so that it's not a total handover of all their rights, but it is specifically, hey, in the case if this person goes missing, then their parent is able to access their medical information, their dental records, all the typical things that you might need for something like that. And that's another thing that really hits me about this case, and I think would apply to most missing persons cases where there's someone with developmental issues. With Rosemarie, we know that she was on some pretty severe medication and the doctor was working on changing it and it wasn't going well, and they were even planning on putting her into a hospital the following day. I think in many of these cases, we're going to find that there is some form of medication that is being used, and when the person goes missing, there should be an assumed risk that that person is not going to be able to be treated properly or have access to the medication that they might need. These are not over-the-counter medications. We're not talking about something that you could go down to your Walmart to and pick up and, you know, someone else could give them and they'll be off and fine. In some of these cases, these are very specialized, somewhat, they could be dangerous if even misused type of medications. So there should be an inherent risk factor that kicks in on these cases, and maybe that helps this purple alert system or this new set of rules that is around that type of system and kind of nudges law enforcement towards stronger action, maybe with some specific procedures, something around along those lines. So I just wanted to kick this video out as a bit of a brainstorming session. I would love it if you would share your thoughts in the comments below. The comments from Rosemary's case actually helped lead to this, and then that coupled up with the fact that John was pretty much echoing the same thing. How come he couldn't effectively get some type of Amber Alert issued for her is a very good question, and I think it's a hard question to answer for people that are on the other side of this conversation. It just seems like such a good idea. I don't know why it would get stopped, but I need some help in terms of figuring out how we even get it started. So if you're one of the people that I'm emailing this video to, please just give it some thought. If you have some feedback, send me a message back. Let me know if there's someone else I could contact to try to push these things forward. I don't know how to go about it. You know, I'm a YouTuber that looks into these cases, but I would really like it if this could be the catalyst for some type of change to help, particularly with those cases. My heart's really broken over this Rosemary case, and especially after talking to her father, I really want to see if there's some more that we can do to help in cases like this. So I hope you'll help me out with that. Thank you so much for joining me on this Johnny vlog. Sorry, it's a little bit heavier. I really want to process these one by one. So for the next few weeks, I think we're going to be a little bit more serious on this show, talking in particular about tools for helping with these missing person cases or missing persons cases in general. So if you have other ideas about other potential tools that might help with that, please include those in the comment box below, and we'll talk about all these great ideas as far as we can. And then if there's some action we need to take on moving these ideas forward, maybe you and I can help get that going together. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you right back here on the Lord and Arts channel.